Hey everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. Sunday today, it's kind of a cloudy day, although I'm not sure if it's cloud or smoke. We've got a forest fire, actually at least one, but one quite bad, quite a ways north of us, so it's not close to us at all, but the smoke is kind of making its way south, so kind of thoughts and prayers are with. There's about 400 homes or properties evacuated up there, so I'm thinking about them and hope that they get that fire under control soon. So Sunday today, and I am going to make, it's a really easy fun fold to do, and I'm going to use the Sunshine Vibes bundle, which is part of the Boho Vibes suite. In the annual catalog. Kind of nice to go back to the annual catalog. There's lots of online exclusives out, and there's going to be more coming out with the new catalog that comes out in September. So not only is the September to December mini catalog almost out, but also a whole bunch of new online exclusives. So it's kind of nice to go back every once in a while and see what there is in the annual catalog that I haven't played with for a little while. All right, let me switch over and we will make a fun fold. Don't forget, if you are watching, let me know where you're watching from. Hey, Therese, yay. So somebody's on Facebook. They can see me. Perfect. All right, so this is the Sunshine Vibes bundle. I made a card the other day using the rainbow and then all of these different patterned dies for the bands. Today I'm going to use, I don't lose all these dies, I'm going to use this die that cuts out bands from cardstock. And so this will cut out 5 different bands that you can use. I'm actually going to use the negative part of this die cut, so just the spaces between these, and then I'll save the bands for another card. So this is kind of a fun bundle with the rainbows, and then it's kind of a really basic stamp set, but it's great for, you could just do some stamping with it. But I love these bold font dies. In fact, they're quite small. They fit on a 1/2 inch strip, which is kind of my go-to for sentiments if I'm going to cut a piece. Okay, so here's my pieces that I've got cut. So I've got a piece of Secret C that's 8.5 by 5.5, a piece of basic white that's 5.25 by 8, a piece of one of the pieces of the designer series paper. This I've cut 3 3/4 by 5. So I'm going to use this one with the kind of bands of color. A piece that's 3/4 of an inch by 3 3/4 for the inside of the card, and then I've got my 1/2 inch strip for the sentiment, and a 3/4 of an inch of Darling Duckling for behind the sentiment, the mat. I actually think this is Daffodil Delight, but I like to use Darling Duckling because I really love the color. Okay, so the reason this is a really easy fun fold is we're gonna put these 2 pieces together. So my Secret C, like I said, is 8.5 by 5.5 by 8.5. So we're gonna score it at 4 1/4. And then my piece of basic white's gonna go on the inside. So this is 5 1/4 by 8. So we're gonna score this at 4. So we're going to burnish our 2 pieces of cardstock. This is the raised line, so as always, fold into the mountain on both pieces. Okay, so the reason this is a fun fold is because this piece is going to go in like this, and the reason it's a really easy fun fold is because that's really all you're going to do. It's kind of nice fun folds to make easy. So when this opens, you're going to have this extra card base that is in the middle. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to cut a rainbow out using this die. And so what we're going to get is just the the openings of the bands. So I'm going to put this in enough room down here so that my sentiment will go on the bottom. Somebody posted in my group, one of my team members, it's time to change out my cutting plates, and I was thinking the same thing as I looked down at mine today. I think they definitely need, oops, I'm missing a plate. You know you're missing a plate when it slides through way too easily. Okay, number 2 goes on. Yeah, I think it's time to treat myself to a new set of cutting plates. All right, so we're just gonna take and cut that rainbow. Can take this off now, and what you're left with is all these bands of color, which you can use on another card, so don't throw those away. We'll just save those for another card. Put those, usually what I do with die cuts is I just take and put them on the inside of the stamp case for the bundle, and then I've got them. Okay, so now I've got the negative of what was cut out. So my piece of designer series paper is going to go on this. So this piece is typical size for a matte layer, so this will just go on the inside of the card, and now we're going to see those colors when we close the card. Pretty easy. It was good. I was all about easy this morning as I was trying to come up with a card to make. Okay, so we're going to take and glue this piece again. This is 3 3/4 by 5, so it fits. So one size down from my piece of basic white. And then I'm going to take and adhere the back, just the back of this to the inside of the card. Like that. So it's not right up against that. Hey Pam, welcome. It's not right up against the score line because it just fits right in the center, closes nicely. Just going to take and burnish that just a little bit so it stays closed. Sometimes it wants to pop up a little bit. Okay, so now when you open the card, you've got that on the inside, and then I've got a piece of the cards, they're the designer series paper that I cut off the ends of my bands, and that's just going to go here on the left hand side. Sometimes I put it across the bottom, but in this case I had the piece that cut off of this piece, and so I will use it for the inside of the card. Okay, how easy is this? Like, this is the kind of fun fold we all need to make. I love to make thank you cards, so I'm going to use the thanks sentiment. And I'm going to stamp it in Secret Seed. Hey Lynette, did I say hello already? I just noticed your comment. Welcome. All right, Secret Sea is kind of my new Night and Navy basic or black. It's such a lovely neutral color, and so I'm just going to take and I'm going to stamp thanks. Not much stamping on this. Kind of perfect. All right, so this is way too long because I don't need that to go across. So I am going to take and trim this. So I'm going to trim this to 4 inches. So 3 3/4 by 4. And then I will trim that in, let's see, I'm going to trim about 1/4 of an inch off. We'll start with 1/4. So I'm going to have this piece just a little bit longer than the Darling Duckling piece. I might trim a little bit more off of it in just a second here. Nope, that fits. Okay. I think I did this on another card recently. It's kind of I'm having a deja vu moment with this, with the different, the sentiment piece longer than the matte piece. So put this on. So what's everybody doing? Anybody in their craft room today? And if so, what are you working on? Anybody started their Christmas cards yet? I have a few, of course, because I've shared some of them, but I haven't actually started my Christmas cards. Okay, I've got those kind of staggered, the dimensionals, so that it doesn't wobble when it goes on the card. There. And then this can just go. How easy is that card? The other thing that comes with the bundle are the muted, or the suite, not the bundle, are muted palette. Muted palette dots. They come in petal pink. I'm going to say So Saffron. No, it can't be So Saffron. Must be Daffodil Delight, although it's quite light. Anyway, it's yellow. Whatever that yellow is. Hey, Mary. Perfect. Good for you. Yeah, it's nice to get in busy in your craft room. All right, I'm going to use, since I've got a yellow theme going on with the matte layer, I'm going to use the yellow. You can use any of these. So like I said, Mossy Meadow, Cloud Cover, Petal Pink, and whatever that yellow is. I'll have to look it up in the catalog so I actually know what yellow is actually in those dots. All right, nothing going on, lazy Sunday. That's okay. You're allowed a lazy Sunday. It's kind of nice to have a lazy Sunday. My husband and I are going to go, I think I mentioned this yesterday, it's Ladysmith Days here, and so there's all sorts of things going on at the beach, and so we're going to ride our bikes down. It's not too hot, and we're going to ride our bikes down and see what's going on down there. All right, there is my very quick and easy. Oh yeah, there is some amazing new holiday Christmas suites and bundles coming in the new catalog. So as demonstrators, we got to see the catalog this week. And it will be coming out. So if you've purchased from me, I will be sending you a catalog in the mail. If you'd like one and haven't put an order in, you could put an order in or just let me know and I will send you one. Yeah, if you live in Canada, of course. All right, so there is my very easy fun fold card. You could stamp something on the inside if you wanted to. Yeah, I'm all about quick and easy cards these days, it seems. I like to make very avid cards, but sometimes it's just fun to make a really quick and easy card, because sometimes I don't want to spend all that much time, and so I think that everybody's in. We're all busy, and so sometimes it's just easy to, or just nice to have an easy, quick and easy card. And this suite, if you haven't seen this suite, it was kind of one that I ignored for a while. Wasn't really one I thought that I was going to get. And then of course, you start to see some cards and you go, ooh, that's kind of nice. I think I have to have that. And this is one of those suites that was I have to have for me. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Now I'm going to take a little bit of time off. My husband and I are going to take a little bit of a vacation, so I will not be live Tuesday and Wednesday night this week, but I will be back on Saturday. So come join me at 11 a.m. on Saturday for another project. And until then, I hope you get to spend some time in your craft room. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me.